Hey, Jim. Good morning. I think we're here.
Mhm.
Good morning.
What are we going to do?
Today is day 11 of the counting of the Omer, and we've been counting the Omer each day, uh, also with Song of Songs. We're about to finish chapter 2. We can finish chapter 2 today, I think, even though some of the poets suggest that it's really three separate poems, these last four verses. That's the thing about Song of Songs we're realizing is it's bits and pieces from lots of different places, but when you read it together this way, you really can make a case for a relationship between these two lovers as well, even though it is kind of looks like it's bits and pieces of songs and poems and memories from lots of love poetry.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a compilation.
usually begin with counting the Omer, day 11. We usually have a special poem for day 11. Today we're in the second week of the attributes. This week is Gevura. Last week was Chesed. Now we're in Gevura. And each day, in addition to the week of a certain attribute or sensibility, we also have the day. And since today is the third day, that would be, what is that? Yesterday was Tiferet, so today is Netzach, the fourth day. And so Gevura and Netzach, that's kind of a powerful combination, I would think. Gevura, strength, Netzach. So, what do you say?
Oh, here we are. Yeah. It's quite a delay.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. Okay, so day 11.
וערבנה אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. Amen. Oh God, make the words of your teachings pleasant on our lips and the lips of all of those that come into our screens, so we can spend a time in learning for the pleasure of it, for its own sake, for no advantage. Blessed are you who teaches to your people in this fashion. Amen. Amen, amen. What do you have there?
A small coffee.
Let me see.
No, you don't want to drink it. It's bad.
So here this morning we're at, let's start with the Omer, the counting. The counting each week of the 7 weeks of the counting. These are stages, ascending stages, madrigot stages, steps, levels of transformative energy. And each week is given over to a different energy. So Rabbi Nachman teaches that if we're aware of what the energy is in the week, it's a spiritual alignment. Is that me? Excuse me. A spiritual alignment. So this week is the second week of the counting, given over to Gevura, a sense of restraint, It's in complementary quality, with an E, complementary quality, to Chesed, which is all giving, all yes. You can't live with all yes, It's a slogan, but it's not a reality. So it requires its balance. Its balance is restraint. And then, of course, we think in triads during this period.
Yeah.
Next week, there'll be
dyads, but
triads. Like next week will be the synthesis in Tiferet, beauty, the middle pole. The middle pole is beauty. Keats, we're listening. Truth or beauty, beauty, truth. So here, counting 2 weeks, Netzach within Gevurah. And we're taught that each day within that energy of the week is the working of two of these energies together. The energy of the day in the context of the week. The energy of the week is restraint, Gevurah. The energy of the day is Netzach, some sort of long look. Netzach is a long look. Counting 2 weeks, Netzach within Gevurah. Get up with confidence. Ascending. You will lead with your nose. You will follow with sensible. Beginning, you may be just a little too confident.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, you will pause. Amen. Chesed, love. Gevurah, restraint. Tiferet, beauty. Netzach, you think you know. Hod, you don't. Yesod, foundation. And then, Malchut, the spigot. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על ספירת העומר. היום 11 יום שהם שבוע אחד ו4 ימים לעומר. Today is day 11 of the Omer, which is 1 week and 4 days of the Omer. In this piece, Dr. M teaches the Omer. Almost all your certainty is misplaced. Fountain, its origins toward love, chesed, love overflowing, bordered by gevurah, restraint, lifted and balanced into tiferet, beauty, with netzach, a renewal of confidence, second pass, you think you know, you don't know, moderated by hod, settling into synthesis, yesod, in your body. With Malchut, the spigot is yours. Open, not open. Okay, Susie, let's get to it. Song of Songs.
Beautiful.
Are you ready for this?
I am ready. This is a beautiful part of the Song of Songs. It really is.
Put on your seatbelt.
Yeah. So, as I said, some of the poets divide this into 3 parts. Verse 14 is his own poem.
Uh-oh.
Verse 15. Oh no, what'd you do?
I don't know. Something happened. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Verse 14 its own. Verse 15 its own. And then 16 and 17. But I think we can put them all together today.
Okay.
Right? And so, Yonati, this very lovely, endearing quality, my dove, my beautiful dove, my dove, hiding in the clefts of the rock, right?
My dove.
Mm-hmm. And the rocks,
the
rocks around Jerusalem are limestone, and so there really are clefts. There are places where the birds make their nests and can hide. And the commentators talk about how, that's where they stay when they're frightened and they don't leave. And they're also protected from the arrows in those clefts because they're covered, these limestone crevices.
Plus the doves are not jumpy birds.
No, they're not jumpy birds, right?
They settle in.
They settle, right? Like his
my dove,
right?
B'seter HaMadrigah, Harini et Maraich. Let me see.
Kind of the steps of those cliffs, those beautiful cliffs, right?
Let me see your
appearance,
what you look like.
Yeah.
What do you look like today? Hashmi'ini et kolech. To hear, let me hear your voice. Ki kolech arev. Because your voice is arev. Arev.
Delicious, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting
It's
word.
an interesting word to use for a voice because a voice is heard, not tasted, right? But here, this word that's used is a tasting word, right?
Well, we're used to so many different compilations of senses in our poetry, especially our love poetry, and our spiritual poetry too. In the Psalms, taste and see that God is good. That kind of thing.
Mm,
Kole kole charev, delicious, maraich, and your appearance. Here's that word again.
yeah, right.
Nava.
What I see.
It has a sense of desire attached to it.
Mm-hmm. In your sight, how seeing you, lovely to look at. So your voice is kind of delicious to hear, and your seeing you is lovely,
Okay, let's go on.
right?
Echezulanu, take us, catch us. Shualim,
Catch, grab
shualim,
us, these
ketanim.
little foxes.
Foxes, little foxes.
Yeah.
I've seen those little foxes
Mm-hmm.
running along the paths and darting into the brush.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're the ones that eat the vineyards. So I was a little confused here. Remember how we were saying smadar? We have smadar again here. We thought that the smadar um, the blossoms before the grapes, but here it's saying that they're reading the. Now, good question, Sam. What are the little foxes? The little foxes are the ones that steal, right? The grapes before they're ripe. You know, they get in there and they ruin the fields.
They eat up
They're mischievous.
They eat up the fruit as it's
Even
blossoming.
before it's blossomed, even before it becomes fruit, I guess. The smadar is the blossom before the fruit. So they ruin it even before it's, and there's kind of a sense of that she is, she is becoming, right? She's something becoming.
They could also be jackals too, these animals.
Oh, really? Not little foxes?
They could also be jackals. You mentioned in the story of Samson in Judges.
Is it the same word that's used in Lamentations?
He caught up 300 of them.
Could be. But remember the foxes in Lamentations are they're a kind of a paradoxical image because they come out of the destruction of the temple, but they come out of the destruction of the temple. There's something living that's coming out of the destruction. So they are the sign of the destruction, but they also are living. They come out of the destruction alive. So there's something, I don't know. That.
Yeah.
They're both. They're and. So what does that mean, Sam? I don't know. The little foxes there.
Smadar, it sounds like a loan word. It has so many consonants, hard consonants.
Yeah.
Smadar. These are the only two places it occurs.
Mm-hmm.
Smadar.
Yeah, it's a beautiful name, right? But, for root is usually Persian, maybe like Pardes, huh?
It's something like a blossoming or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Vineyards.
Remember, these words, if they only appear one or two times in our entire text, you know them by active interpretation based on context. How are they used? They're only used once or twice. What else do you have to compare it to? Let's keep going. Well,
this verse you have to sing, right?
This is a famous verse. Verse 16. Dohudi va anilo haroe bashushani. Dohudi va anilo haroe bashushani.
Yeah, so this is also very complicated. And yeah, I agree with you, Sam. I think there is something about this notion of taking the fruit before love has fully bloomed. I think that's really beautiful. And I think that's what the fear is here, right? The fear is that they're not going to be able to.
She says, "Don't rush me, baby."
Well, no, I think yes, maybe that, but also they're both afraid. They're taking so much time in wooing, in being able to woo each other, that maybe
There's also that
it'll
sense
get
of,
ruined.
don't forget,
Something will happen before they actually get together.
before desire is fulfilled in that
Amen.
verse. The
Right.
desire is fulfilled.
Right.
Don't rush me, baby.
I could be. I don't know. But this beautiful, Dodi Lee
Haroeh,
Haroeh
like a shepherd, what a shepherd does, like a
feeds.
pastures. I guess, is that a verb in English? Pastures. Haroeh, pastures in the
And here are those
lilies.
shoshim again. But there's the remember the Shoshana Bina Kochim, we had the lily or the rose among the thorns, right?
Sometimes, there's a interesting, you could write a monograph on our depictions of roses and lilies
Mhm.
and the
Sure,
confusion
somebody has.
between the two.
Yeah.
We assume these are lilies, but Bein HaChochim, among the thorns,
Thorns
if
could
it's
be
translated
roses,
as
right?
thorns,
Could be
the
roses.
assumption is, but then somebody said, no, thistles.
Who knows?
Let's keep going
But the
because we're
image-
running out of time.
But the image is clear that it is there's something here. There's something beautiful amidst something not so beautiful.
The
Right?
Jewish
Something-
police are going to shut us down.
Okay. But I love that. Dodi li va'anilo haroeh b'shoshani.
Okay, sing the verse just once.
Dodi li va'anilo haroeh b'shoshani. It's a
Okay.
beautiful verse. And there's also, we'll get to that the next right time where it says something like this, right? Dodi li va'ani. What is it? I am my beloved, and my beloved is his. Is mine. What's that verse?
Dodi li
Va'ani.
va'ani lo. That's it.
Because there's this notion of not only loving, but what does it mean to love? It means to belong to each other.
Because
They somehow belong to
in
each
Hebrew,
other
we don't
now.
have the to have verb. Ani lo.
Right. So it's just about, it's this belonging. It's this notion of intimacy that's beyond love. It's certainly beyond physical love.
Let's go to verse 17.
Okay.
Ashiafuch hayom. Until
Verse
the
17,
day.
the last one.
This is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done? Should we end it there, you think?
Well, we should, because then we get to chapter 3. This is it.
Oh, okay.
That's the last verse.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Ad shiafuch hayom, until the day breathes.
And the shadows flee.
Nasuhat.
Just before the break of
Slali.
dawn. To
So
breathe.
the me
love.
dodi. What are you going to be like? Here's what you're like to me. Turn. What you are like to me,
Beautiful.
you are like a deer or a young deer or a gazelle. Ad hare vater. On the mountains of something. There's another place where mountain of more of spices.
Upon the mountain of spices.
That's if you change. If
That
there's
could be, but some of the poets call it jagged mountains. You
I
like
think
a
that's how
gazelle,
the
a
poem
wild
ends. I
stag
think
on
that's
a
how the whole
jagged
poem ends.
mountains. Right. That's it.
I believe that's no, the whole.
Oh, Shir HaShirim?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
that's the last line.
Wow. So we have it here and then we
Hare
have it again
vasalim,
there.
on the mountains of spices. So some people think there's a textual emendation here.
Yeah.
That it might have been the mountains of more.
Nice.
Anyway.
So should I do Marcia Falk here?
Sure.
So Marcia Falk really, she is this lovely poet. And actually, the blocks come after Marsha Fox, so they use Marsha Fox too. So she starts here with, she calls it 3 different poems. The first one, my dove in the clefts of the rocks, the secret of steep ravines. Come, let me look at you. Come, let me hear you. Your voice clear as water, your beautiful body. My dove in the clefts of the rocks. Catch the little foxes among the vines. Catch the little foxes, the quick little foxes raiding the new grapes on our vines. My lover turns to me, and I turn to him, who leads his flock to feed among the flowers until the day is over and the shadows flee. Turn around, my lover, go quickly. Be like deer or gazelles in the clefts of the rocks. So she pulls it together. So, gosh, lots of different images, lots of different understandings here, but certainly the words of 2 lovers who are longing for each other, but not rushing. Not rushing. Understanding they're part of something bigger than themselves. Understanding that they're trying to build something. Some kind of trust, some kind of intimacy. Dodi li ve'anilo. My beloved is mine and I am his. It's about belonging to each other. What does it mean? What kind of responsibility does it require to belong to another person? So let's offer a Misha Berach, a healing prayer.
For the nefesh, for the guf, for the healing of the spirit, healing of the body, for those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael, on my left, the angel Gabriel, in front of me, Uriel, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head, Shekhinah. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, great healer. Amen. Amen.
Thanks for joining us. We hope everybody has a great day. 11 of the counting of the Omer, a great day. And we will be back tomorrow morning as we begin. We'll be at day 12 of the counting of the Omer, and we'll begin chapter 3.
You think you know. You don't.
You don't. But we're on a journey. It's a journey. It's all a journey through the song of all the songs and the Omer. Have a great day.